Save big money on your entire roofing project now at Menards. Protect your home for years to come with Owens Corning Architectural Shingles. They offer long-lasting performance while providing ultimate protection with a 130 miles per hour wind rating and limited lifetime warranty. Choose from over 50 options of Owens Corning shingles in-store and on Menards.com. And check out more of our great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, yo, this is Big Daddy Kane, and you're listening to another hot interview on The Library with Tim Einenkel on rapstation.com.
I don't do white music, I don't do black music. I make rap music for hip-hop kids. Y'all know what it is when I get biz with this. Flows that's hard enough, you can hit your kids with this. Thugs walk through Queensbridge with this. Italian cats drive through Bay Ridge with this. Pumping in they eye rock.
Masta Ace, legendary MC, Juice Crew member. He's the gold standard when it comes to lyricism. Not only is he an accomplished solo artist, he's also a member of EMC, touring the planet on a regular basis, and obviously showing everyone how it should be done. He and his label, M3 Records, recently inked a deal with Penalty Entertainment and is currently working on a new album, which is scheduled for release in mid-2015. Masta Ace, welcome to The Library with Tim Einenkel on rapstation.com.
Good to be here, man. Looking forward to it.
I want to quickly talk about your motivating factor for writing and creating. When you created Disposable Arts in 2001, you've said you think it would probably be your last album because of due to your MS. You didn't know if you were going to be immobile or even death. And you didn't know what the future was going to hold. Seems like those two things are really good motivating factors to create great albums or great art. Now that you've said you've changed your diet and you're healthier, what is your how do you top that as a motivating factor? I guess what is your motivating factor now to create your artwork?
It continues to be that, because when I look at my physical condition or what it could be, if I 10 years ago said, I got this diagnosis, I'm gonna be depressed, I'm gonna eat like shit, I'm gonna drink a bunch of alcohol and find some drugs and just kind of zone out that way, my physical condition would be completely different today than it is. So I made those decisions and continue to make those decisions because what I'm doing this is how I feed my family. This is how my mortgage is paid. This is how we eat. And so if I'm going to abuse my body, not be physically well or capable or able to be on a grueling tour and jump around on stage for 20 shows in a row for 30 days, then I'm hurting my family because they're relying on me to go out there and earn. The way it's very similar to the professional athlete. Professional athlete, they're getting paid a lot of money to play a sport. If they don't take care of themselves, take care of their bodies and take care of themselves, don't lift weights, don't work out in the summertime, don't follow a specific nutrition plan, then they're going to get fat. Or they're going to get injured. They're not going to be physically able to compete on the playing field. And guess what? Somebody else is going to bump them right out. And then they're not going to be with a team at all. Those guys, they don't eat pizza. They don't do none of that crazy stuff. They don't abuse alcohol and drugs. Well, most of them don't. Because they're trying to keep their bodies in the best possible condition so they can continue to play this game. And I know you think about rap as just being the voice, but it's a physical sport too. When I'm on stage, it's like a game. Like I'm soaked. Like I just played, a full game of basketball, and those are my motivating factors. I got to continue to feed my family, and I have to take care of myself, and to do that. And the other part of it, the other motivation for me is I've kind of always been the underdog, the underrated, the never really gets the full props that he deserves, and this and that and whatever, all those categories. That's always been me. And it's good that that's been me, because that's been a huge motivator for me since day one, really. I started off in a crew of some of the best rappers in the game. Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, Biz Markie with his song making. And I've always been trying to prove that I belonged in that same conversation, and never really felt it. But it's cool that I never felt it, because then I might get relaxed. Like, okay, I'm finally accepted. Now I'm cool. Now I don't have to go as hard. No, I'm glad that I don't get the credit, because not getting the credit is what motivates me. It's like that team that nobody gives a shot to, or they're playing against this big powerhouse. They're gonna get killed. Nobody's giving them a chance, and they go into their own heads, and they come up with a game plan, and they come on that field, and they're out of their minds. They want to beat this team, and that's me. I'm that underdog team that nobody's giving a shot to.
I want to briefly talk about 2 older albums. Both next year you'll have anniversaries for. Well, obviously you have anniversaries for all your albums, but next year you'll have on July 24th of 2015 will be the 25th anniversary of your debut album. Take a Look Around. I wanted to kind of quickly get your thoughts on the album. Anything you would have changed, that you would have liked to change? Anything that you thought at the time, well, I want to change, but glad you didn't change? If you just want to quickly reflect on that.
Yeah, my debut album, Take a Look Around, was my debut, so it was me trying to just prove I could rap, prove that I was as good as the next MCs out there. And when I listen back to that album now, it just sounds so preachy to me. I was trying to get a message across, a message of positivity and uplifting people and my people in my neighborhood, and trying to get people to realize their worth and those type of things. But I did it in such a preachy way on that first album. I kind of cringe when I listen to it now because I've become a lot smarter in the way that I get my messages across to the fans now. So that'd be probably the only thing, of course, Me and the Biz being the first single was something that I just never wanted to have happen. And, I tried to fight Warner Brothers back then to not put that out as the first single, but they were insistent that be the first single because Biz Markie's name was attached to it. He was selling a lot of records at the time, and they wanted to kind of ride that bandwagon. That might be a regret of mine, coming out with that as the first single, because I should have. That would have been my first opportunity to really stick to my guns as an artist, but I was just way too new. First album, like I didn't want to piss anybody off. It's me against Warner Brothers. Like who's gonna win here? So there's that. I'll probably say, the creative process was a good one. It was a lot of fun working with Marley on that album, and I think I probably wish that after that album that we could have maybe done a couple more records. But he parted ways with Coach Chillin', then I parted ways with Coach Chillin', and then we were on different paths at that point, so we weren't going to be able to reconnect. And I created my own production crew, and we went off and started doing our thing, and we made Slaughterhouse.
Second album I want to talk about is Sitting on Chrome, which is Masta Ace Incorporated's second album. It will have its 20th anniversary next year in May. Can you quickly reflect on that album? Kind of, were you surprised how commercially successful it was compared to the work you put into other albums? Meaning, were there other albums you thought should have been, just from a creativity point of view, should have been more commercially successful versus that album? Just talk about that.
No, I think Sitting on Chrome was the album that should have been the most commercially successful because it was the album that was the intention. When we went in the studio to make that album, it was really based on the success of one song, Born to Roll. That song took off like nobody expected. Just one of those records that nobody saw coming, including Delicious Vinyl. You know, they actually, at a meeting, I remember specifically at a marketing meeting, I played them the remix to Jeep Ass Born to Roll. And, you know, I remember, you know, Mike Ross saying, you know, why are we doing remixes to Jeep Ass? We need to move on with the next single, Slaughterhouse. Let's go. Like, and I fought to have Born to Roll put on the B side of the single for Slaughterhouse, and they just kind of threw it on there, to keep me quiet. They serviced the single out to DJs all over the country, and overnight every DJ turned that record over and played Born to Roll. Nobody played Slaughterhouse, and all of a sudden the spins nationwide just went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like overnight, we shot. Then all of a sudden, now we gotta shoot a video. Then we rushed to shot a video. Then they were chasing it. They were basically chasing the success of it. Then they didn't have a 12-inch for that song. People couldn't find it. People would go to the store and say, I want that song by Masta Ace about the rolling in my Jeep. And nobody in the stores knew what it was. Well, here we got Slaughterhouse. No, I don't want Slaughterhouse. I want this Born to Roll song. We don't have that. The stores didn't even know that it was on the B side to Slaughterhouse to sell it. So the label had to run and scramble, create a cover, press up Born to Roll with the instrumental on the other side. I'd go back and do an instrumental. Like all of this chasing. So Sitting on Chrome was a sort of a knee-jerk reaction to the overnight success of that one song. You know, the label came to me and they said, you know, you have created this fan base of car culture enthusiasts. We want you to try to create an album that will grab those fans again. Can you do some songs that'll grab those fans again? And I said, well, you know, that's not necessarily where I was going to go with my next, you know, project. I don't do stuff calculated like that. I just do what I feel. But, you know, it's Delicious Vinyl. They had Tone Loc sold over 1 million copies. They had Young MC sold over 1 million copies. I said, okay, well, these guys kind of know what they're doing, I guess. They had some legitimate success with some other artists. So I'm going to give them an album that I like, but satisfies what they're asking me for. So I did songs like INC Ride. I did songs like Sitting on Chrome, which was basically a ripoff of Born to Roll and using the same kind of Moog sound, mini Moog sound. And I tried to give them singles that would potentially make the album more commercially successful. The result is it was more commercially successful. INC Ride was the most radio played record that I ever had in my career. It got played more than Born to Roll. And Sitting on Chrome got a lot of radio play as well. But INC Ride was number one in that. And I mean, it's 20 years already. It's kind of crazy to even, doesn't feel like that to me. Like I was like, it seemed like yesterday, but I realized it was a long time ago. But I sometimes call that album my compromise album because it was me compromising with the label and giving them what they were asking for. And I'm happy with the fact that I brought so many new fans into my movement, because there was a whole new batch of fans that weren't familiar with me before Born to Roll that all of a sudden knew who I was and bought that album. At the same time, there were fans that already were fans of mine that didn't really like that album because it was reaching a little bit too much to being commercial, and I turned off some of my core fans at that time. But I'm happy to say that a lot of those core fans, while they were a little turned off by it, they didn't completely abandon me, and they came right back when Disposable Arts dropped.
Two more questions, if that's all right. You're obviously here today in the studio to finish up EMC's second album, or finish your part of EMC's second album. One, what can we expect from this album? And two, when do you guys hope to have it completed? Also, are there any guest spots, surprising guest spots that you like to talk about, producers, etc.?
Well, the album is scheduled to be handed in, completed by Christmas. If we hand it in by Christmas, it'll be an April 2015 release date. We have the first single already mixed. We have part of the video shot. About 3/4 of the video is completed already. The album is really good. Guest spots. Well, we got a beat from Diamond D, which is pretty cool. I've never worked with Diamond D. He's been a friend in the industry for many years, but we've never like collaborated on anything before. So that was kind of cool. Have a little digging in the crates connection there. We got Be Real from Cypress Hill on a song. Working on Exhibit. Exhibit might be doing doing a hook for me as well. Right now, those are the big kind of features that I'm comfortable mentioning. Everything else is still kind of pending. But we do have on the skits, we have a guest appearance from Rosie Perez and a guest appearance from Tony Rock, Chris Rock's brother. And those are two of the people that are actually on the Tonight. The name of the album is The Tonight Show. So it's about us, EMC, being the musical guest on The Tonight Show. So the guests on The Tonight Show are Rosie Perez and Chris Rock. If everything works out and the moons and the stars align right, comedian Russell Peters is actually going to be the celebrity host of the album. He'll be the talk show host for The Tonight Show for our album. So those are all really cool kind of friends and people that we know or connected with or met that were happy enough to lend their talent and their ability and their name and their celebrity to this EMC movement because they believe in it. And I look forward to I can't wait for people to hear the album. They're going to really be blown away. I'm sure of it. And we'll be ready to hit the road once again. 2015 summer, we'll be right back on the road.
As mentioned, you recently signed a deal with Penalty Entertainment and are currently prepping to release your new album, which is going to be your sixth one. It's going to be scheduled to drop mid-2015. What can you tell us about this project? Is it a concept album? And how do you prepare yourself to create a solo album right when you're in the middle of creating a group album?
It's all about the music, the inspiration from the music. I'm working with a producer. I'm not going to divulge anything just yet, but I'm working with a producer who has given me some of the most inspiring beats that I've had in my possession in a while. And believe me, I'm given a lot of beats by a lot of producers, but this guy, his talent level is inspiring me. And this is really how this album came about, was from the beats that he gave me. Once I got these beats in my possession, the album really wrote itself. Hearing the beat, driving with it, immediately song idea comes to me. I start writing lyrics, and the lyrics are just flying out of me. Like, I'm not trying hard. Anytime I'm writing something and I don't feel like I'm trying hard to write it, then I know it's going to be good, and I'm excited. So, yeah, it is going to be a concept album. All I'm willing to really say now is that my album, Son of Yvonne, took you back to when I was about 11, 12 years old. This album takes place a few years after that. So, about 5 years after that. So, that's about all I can give away at this point.
How do we keep up with what you're doing and, Twitter and all that social networking stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on Twitter, just at Masta Ace, MastaAce. I'm on Instagram at Masta Ace Pics, PICS. And I'm on Facebook as well. I'm just not real Facebook savvy, so you can find me on there. I think it's Masta Ace Official, but I am on there, so get at me one of those ways.
He's a legendary MC, a Juice Crew member, and has 2 new albums about to come out. Masta Ace, thank you so much for joining me on The Library with Tim Einenkel on rapstation.com.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God. Y'all rap dudes are funny. I don't feud with dummies. I don't need no problems. I need food and money. I recall when we used to fool with honeys that was cute as bunnies with the smoothest tummies. Now we like Brinks trying to move his money. Run with cats to act mad, rude and crummy. It's the chairman of the board and I'm carrying the sword. I look heavy in the Chevy and I'm scary in the Ford. F-150, you should just run swiftly. Unless you nice and you like, you can just come get me. Y'all dudes sweet like cakes and pies. I go together with rap like shakes and fries. And I hate them guys with hate in their eyes. Hoping we fall, can't wait to rise. Yeah, I'm all natural like a case of Snapple. And don't talk this shit, cause the ace will slap you. And don't try to run, cause I chase and catch you. Put a sharp blade to your face and scratch you. What you want fuck with a ninja for? I'm like a cornered rat with an injured paw. And I bend your jaw and in your tour. Even if I lose the battle, I'ma win the war. Yeah.
When Meat Nuts and Masta Ace both up in the place, it's like, oh my God. When you can't find your girl probably up in our face, she like, oh my God. There's bad ways to do it, my man, and we doing it hard, we like,
I don't mix weed with yay. Let's take it to the streets and lead the way. I'ma watch you bleed your way to emergency. You're gonna need surgery, a facelift, face it. Psych is wildin', like the zig on Rikers Island. Stab you with a spoon in the lunchroom. Have you hallucinating? Like you a mushroom, head twitching like an epileptic. You'll get dropped like elephant-ish. I'm from the home of the Yankees. You're not feeling that, then Yankees. I'm sitting on Twankies. You going nowhere fast like a treadmill. Don't make me have to roll up to your crib and meet your parents like Ben Still. You'll get killed for trying to be a funny ass. Like who? Like Ben Hill. I don't wanna have to run up in your label and put a hole in your head like a bagel. From here to Milwaukee, I do it for the kids like Bill Cosby.
hey. Oh my God. When Meat Nuts and Masta Ace both up in the place, it's like, oh my God. When you can't find your girl probably up in our face, she like, oh my God. There's bad ways to do it, my man, and we doing it hard, we like,
It's Big Judah, family favorite. You should just place the name on your forehead and staple it. I'm here, y'all, I finally made it. And I can be really cool to talk to when I'm medicated. One of the game's most underrated. I make it a hit, then everybody wanna recreate it. Every dude that come through, I paid it. So now if you bite this, I'm leaving you decapitated. Came to show you how I think it's old. Me and the music man together, bruh, it's out of control. It's a feeling that's hard to hold. Look, even if you're pregnant, it makes you wanna work that pole. Now tell me, y'all, what's really good? Cause everything I'm hearing on the radio is hillbilly hood. It's evident that I clearly should put a foot up your ass to make this shit understood.
can you dig it? When Meat Nuts and Masta Ace both up in the place, it's like, oh my God. When you can't find your girl probably up in our face, she like, oh my God. There's bad ways to do it, my man, and we doing it hard, we like,
What's the matter, Trailer? Can't you take a little heat?
Get ultimate protection and durability for your painting project at Menards. Get a paint that combines durability and gorgeous color. Dutch Boy's DuraClean Interior Paint and Primer in One offers Stay Clean technology, making your home stay beautiful and clean longer. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Chris Hahn, the Aggressive Progressive. Check out a new episode of the Aggressive Progressive podcast every Tuesday. You know, the election is heating up just as the year is winding down. Stick with me. I'll tell you the truth as I see it. Download the Aggressive Progressive on Pandora or wherever you get your podcasts.